Welcome to Happily Ever Afters, where love doesn't stop at romance. Join us as we share the tales of everyday magic and celebrate life's sweetest moments. Hear inspiring accounts of love, intimacy, and pure joy as we uncover the secrets behind true devotion and partnerships that really work. Brace yourself for a full-on heart-melting. Here's your host, Carlos Clemente.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Happily Ever Afters. I'm Carlos Clemente, and my co-host, Dorothy Lucy, is here.
Hello.
What we do with this show is we focus on love, every aspect of love, anything that just makes your life more wonderful. We look for guests that can express that in their own way. And today, we have someone that can do that. We have Vicki and Mitch DeArmon, or DeArmon, as she says. Welcome to Happily Ever Afters.
Thank you.
Now, Vicki has a publishing company, and Mitch has a radio show. So they're used to being on air. They should have no problem. So
they're kind of cute together, too. Look at them rocking back and forth in their chairs.
Right.
Getting ready for the 80s.
I think you're...
All right.
I don't think you're quite ready for that yet.
Well, we got another 20 years.
All right. Speaking of years, you got a story that goes back a little ways.
Yeah,
So-
you guys have like a 7 minutes in heaven kind of story from high school?
Oh, is that what it is?
7 minutes in heaven.
Well, I think many people meet each other in high school, which we did, but he was like the cool guy and I was the girl in the chess club. So we never met much. But we did have one little interlude at a party where we may have kissed, but we try not to talk about that too much. And then we went to our high school reunion, 15 year. You want to say what happened there?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, we don't have to talk about it too much, but you made out at a party and then didn't see each other for 15 years?
Yeah, and we ignored each other from that point on. It was too...
She was a 4.0 student. That's a little off limits for me.
Okay, so one party, one kiss, or maybe a French kiss, I don't know. And then, 15 years later.
Ago, yeah.
So we go to the reunion, and then I find this beautiful bald guy's looking at me. I don't know who he is. He comes over, and we talked and got along great, but everybody kept kind of interrupting us. So you suggested we go over and chat.
Yeah, we went over to the coffee shop that was in the hotel.
And we chatted for 4 hours. And at the very end, he leans over to me and he says, we have history. And I said, what could it be? And it reminds me of this party. And I was like Cinderella. I shot out of there quicker than anything. But I'd already given my business card. So he followed up, and then we dated.
That's pretty much what happened.
We dated, and then we got married, and
we dated for a couple of years, like 2 years. She lived in San Francisco. I lived in Sonoma County. It was like one of those long distance kind of things, I guess. 50 miles, if that's long distance, I don't know.
It is.
But
That's geographically undesirable, as people say.
yes, and then I finally talked him into moving to the city, and so we did all that. And then eventually I sold my business because Mitch always had this theory that you couldn't really have kids unless you made room for them, whereas I was just going to add them like to my resume, like another bullet point. But so
A bullet point.
his way was the correct way. So I sold the business, and we moved up into a sort of a rural area, and then we adopted our 3 kids, who changed everything. And
in Petaluma, California.
they're all adults now.
Now, going back, all right, you kissed her, and then 15 years later, did you remember the kiss after that?
I think at least one of you remembered.
After he reminded me, I did sort of feel flushed all over.
For
I was
wait
like,
for
oh my God, I'm having a memory.
I'm getting credit for style points now. This is good.
you were embarrassed, or you were kind of feeling the kiss again?
I was mortified because I've been talking to him like, oh, here I am, a mature adult. I've got my life together. And then he reminds me of this little high school incident. I was like, oh, I'm a goober.
Yeah, but when he kissed you again, did you?
That didn't happen till later, though.
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah,
Later,
there was a little memory. Isn't there something where people physically are drawn to each other that you kind of recognize? And like, it was like kind of like I knew him pretty well when he came up to me at the reunion. I was kind of trying to figure that out, but this was probably the source of it. Don't you think?
I don't know. That's all so beyond me.
Well, you're the one who remembered.
Yes.
Yes.
Mitch has fatal honesty.
I saw her from across the room, and I was like, and I thought to myself, I was like, I'm not going to miss this chance again.
Oh.
Because, well, it was when I was in high school, it would have been more not as cool as I like to be chasing her around. And by the time we met at the class reunion, I wasn't as cool as I was in high school anymore. Like that had got to be like too painful to maintain. And so I could humble myself a little bit and go like, say hi, because to me, that's a big social process, right? Oh, hello. How are you? I'm thinking, had to put a little effort into things.
So we go to the reunion the next 5 years because they were having them every 5 years. And we're like, oh, we got introduced at the reunion. We're married. Well, like there's 4 other couples who have the same experience, but our story is a little different because in our 5 years, we adopted our 3 kids. So we're like, we win.
and I get your story because my husband and I went to college together, and we didn't even like each other in college.
Oh, wow. Right?
And I thought he was kind of full of himself. He thought I was too prissy. And we've been married 31 years. So sometimes it just happens that way.
Yeah. That's how long we've been married.
Well,
Wow.
I think that speaks a lot for, good relationships where it's not all about you have everything in common and you want to do everything the same and you want to be at the same place all the time.
Yeah.
I think when there's some pretty somewhat drastic differences anyway.
Yes.
That it keeps things more interesting because we constantly have conversations about things I know nothing about because she does so many different things than I do. And our interests are different.
Well, she's got her fancy literary background.
Exactly. and so that's all interesting because it's out of my wheelhouse, so to speak. And I'm also the same way. It's like, I actually have a level of respect and honor for men, which isn't real common. And so Vicki has always been interested in, how do you do that? How do you live your life not being a male basher?
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because you're directing things towards helping men, and she's looking to help women. Mm-hmm. So how do you balance that? How do you use your relationship to help carry on what you're trying to do?
Well, I think one of the things that really helps is it kind of naturally built in, it enables us to have more to do with our problems than just each other. So, we're always resolving the relationship issues and with the thought of we're helping other people. So the intensity between us when things get intense, has a vent to go out of because we're bringing it somewhere else also to help other people as we live through the situations. And what that brings to the relationship is a lot of commitment because we're committed to get through these things that we go through in everyday life and like everybody else goes through. We've done a pretty good job of not creating the idea of how special our relationship is compared to everybody else. That's all humor and fun, but we have more to do with our relationship than just the relationship. Our relationship serves a purpose for the well-being of our children, mm-hmm. for the well-being of neighbors, friends, and the other couples that we have helped.
We really we really believe that, if I need help, I go to my women friends. And if he needs help, he goes to his male friends. And you kind of get filled up, and then you come back to the relationship and you can navigate things because you've offloaded some of those emotions or those tensions that you normally just, if it was just him and me, that's kind of a problem we always see with couples, is like they've sort of isolated themselves and all they have is each other. And it kind of creates a tension in the relationship that doesn't actually need to be there.
Vicki, I love what you do, that your entire publishing company is about giving women over 50 a voice.
It's fabulous. I love these women so much, too. We publish, it's Sibylline Press, and we publish the brilliant work of women authors over 50. And the women who sort of jump in with us are, those bold, brilliant, just fabulous women that I like to hang out with. So it's just been a joy because, I'm 65 years old, and who starts a business when they're that old? And I guess I do because I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. But what was really exciting to me was just to be able to work with women in this way and to, really bring their works to light, So we're having the time of our lives, me and my women partners.
And I'm going to be calling you. Okay, Mitch, you can tell us about what you do now.
So the short version of the story is we encourage men. We encourage men to participate. We encourage men to be to realize their lives more than just you're an extension of you're a support group for a family, that you actually probably have some other interests and motivations in your life that you should go out and serve while you're doing the family man stuff. It's all important stuff, going to school stuff and participating in all those things is important. But what a lot of men, and a big mistake I think men make, is they give up what I would say, I don't like this kind of terminology, but I'm going to say it anyway. They give up what they dream about and what their aspirations are to become a particular type of family man. In other words,
you're saying they lose their identity.
Yeah,
what you're saying.
It's more like passion, because a man with a really good purpose for his life, all of these other problems in marriages and children and all that other stuff are very minimal when you have other things that are important to you. And when your life is narrowed down into this focus of, I got to take care of my kids, I got to be here with my wife, I got to do that.
I got to make money.
Shrinks. And what most men have a level of love to express that is a lot bigger than a family can contain. And so if they don't express that outside of the family also, it turns weird. It just turns weird because it's like a stagnant pool ready to flow, and he's sitting there trying to be a good man by being home every night, by being at all the events, by doing all the things. But he's got this whole other life of genius and expression that he doesn't get to express because he gave it all up. He thought he had to give it all up to have a family.
But to make someone else happy. I totally identify with what you're saying, all right? As being a father, a husband, etc., I have found myself doing that at times. Things that I like to do, I don't do anymore because I put everybody else first. And I think that's where a lot of men make their mistake.
And I think we always think of women in those terms, and maybe not men, but I think there's nothing more important than having a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the fuel that keeps everything else powered. That this other purpose that's outside of the realm of family that actually gives you the power and authority to do the family stuff. It's not a detriment to it. It's actually an asset for it because you're able to channel the power you get from a passionate person into your family.
Damn, you guys are deep.
Yeah.
We actually figured out a very simple model to show people this, and it's like this. Let's do it. It's like when you're a young couple, you face each other and you're just looking this way. You're looking at the other person the whole time. And then when you sort of mature, you're looking out into the world and you're looking at what you're going to do, but you're side by side. and that's just kind of that's like the evolution of a good marriage, I think.
Well, there's a particular type of intensity that occurs when you face off men nose to nose. It's not a natural communication stance for a man. That's a posture of aggression. So having this idea that we have to make eye contact when we're talking and look at each other and all that, it may work for some therapist coaching, but it doesn't work for a man who works every day, who has 10,000 other things going on other than just the love he has for his family. That's not the only thing that man's got going on.
And Mitch, how did you evolve into this? I was reading you worked in a grocery store. How did one thing turn into the other?
That's not really the heart of him. The heart of him is a counselor. He has done a lot of therapy with people and helped them, but he also is just a fabulous coach and mentor for men. And so, every time he does that, I can see he's just so happy and full of joy. But that's what he does best. And he's a fabulous speaker also. He just gives, I sort of say sometimes he kind of channels stuff, and I thought, did that come out of you or somewhere else?
She doesn't get to see the real genius. She's got to deal with the man.
Maybe she'll make an exception and publish your book.
There we go.
Or how do you channel from each other? How do you channel each other for everyday life to create that happily ever afters feeling? How do you channel each other?
I think it's through humor. I mean, and also, this whole little thing that people want you to work out your dynamic, like you have a crappy day, they have a crappy day. It's like sometimes you just walk away and recalibrate yourself, and then you can enter back in. So, that whole thing, like stay up and argue until you were resolved. I think it's so stupid because sometimes you're just tired.
Well, I agree. And I also think it's important that at some level we have to have the maturity to know that we chose how we were going to treat each other, what kind of character we have as people, and the benefactors of our greatest characters should be the people we love the most, not running to each other to suck the life out of each other so we can go treat other people well. It's like, we chose to be together. We picked each other. And so, might be a level of egotism behind the fact that, like, I chose who my wife is. I should treat her like my wife, who actually happens to be a person too. And all of the character that I can muster, discipline my own emotions in the way that I address her.
You guys are a TED Talk.
Well, that's the responsibility of every adult. It's like we don't yell at each other. It's like, why would you yell at somebody you love?
We had one yelling match in our whole life, and it was like, what was that? And we never did it again.
I think the kids cried, and so we
were like, why did we do that?
We better not do that again.
Remember when you, there was very early when we were dating, and he said something, and it just made me so mad, and so I threw something, and he says, think about that, Vicki. He says, you're going to introduce violence into our relationship. Do you really want to do that? And I was so chagrined. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I've never done anything like that again. But, there's like those kinds of things, like, you have together, you're a big stew, and everything you put in it, you eat. Right? So
that's your TED Talk right there.
Is there a book in the making about
the
you
two of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Because I see a book here.
That's a good idea.
I see a book here of what taking your knowledge, putting it together, and sending it out for everyone to read and understand. I mean, I've learned so much in just these few minutes. I mean, I identify with a lot of this. So,
writing a book, we really put it all to a test. That's for sure, because there's so many intimate opinions about, like, no, honey, it's not that. It's really like this, and for me, it's like, for men, it's like this, like the violence thing she talked about. See, when I'm around violence, I go into competition. It's like, and I'm going to play to win because I'm a man, and it's what men do. And I've spent a long time differentiating the differences between men and women, why we have to address each other in a particular way so that we don't trigger unnecessary hostility.
Yeah.
It's like if you start getting aggressive and violent around me, I don't go like, oh my God, this is somebody I love, I should just chill out. I go like, oh man, there's somebody being aggressive and violent, I got to win.
And I love that we have a guest now. Is this one of your kids?
our friend's son, and
This is my godson Mitchell.
yeah.
Hello, Mitchell.
Hi, Mitchell.
And the whole
He lives
story
here.
of how you wound up adopting kids is also just amazing. I know, Vicki, you weren't well.
Okay.
Okay, you need to stop talking.
Okay. Just for a minute, buddy.
You know you love somebody when you can say that to them.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty direct. I think our parenting style is pretty direct. But this, our kids are fantastic, and they're all adults now. But it was easy, then it was hard, and then it was easy again. So, but we made it through the hard times, I think. I think I got some wrangles from them.
That's the very short version of it.
I don't even want to.
Yeah.
It's too long of a story.
It's
Well, I
deep.
think the important part about, kind of referring back to the book and couples and that kind of literature is it's so easy to not tell the truth about what being married a long time really is. Because the notion of, heroes and heroines and all that thing, rather than, it's a little grimy sometimes. And who wants to expose that part of the relationship publicly in a book in a detail where people understand that, sometimes what gets you through everything is like the vows of commitment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I committed to loving this person, and I'm not really feeling like doing that right now, but I actually have a goal that I have to keep my word and continue to strive to maintain the commitment. And it's not personal. It's like sometimes with the cult of personality, like they like to say right now, or 20 years ago, is like we try to make all these relationship issues super personal when what they are is an opportunity for us to develop character in a way that we wouldn't otherwise have a chance to.
Yeah.
And love and tolerance is a very difficult way to do it. It's actually probably the hardest way to do it. How is she going to love me anyway, even though I act like I act? Because that's the goal. Is like, okay, even though I'm like this, she can still love me.
Because you
Even though
committed to
she's
each other.
like that, I am still obligated by the integrity of my word to still love her. And what I think the mistake most people make is they give up on love when it's the only thing that'll keep the relationship going. They go into a process. They go into a counseling session. They go into mediation. They go get divorced when what's needed is love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And having the difficult time of expressing love personally when you're next to somebody sometimes isn't really romantic. And having to hear the truth about myself or tell the truth to her about her, it's not always romantic.
We laughed because I had a kind of a rough time doing menopause because I had all the surgery and stuff like this. And Mitch always said, he says, yeah, that was a rough 10 years. But, it's like you got to be willing to go through 10 years of like maybe not liking each other a whole lot.
As opposed to it was a bad day.
Yeah, right. It was, that was a bad 10 minutes. No, it was like 10 years of like kind of strife. And we got through that. And, and we had lots of issues, with the sobriety and stuff with our kids and stuff. And working through that. Mitch has, been in recovery for years and years. So he had the hardship of, no one listening to him and having to find out on their own. And, and our parenting styles have been very different. And, there's just.
Which I think is also an important part of a good, what I would say is a good relationship, is that parents shouldn't do it the same. Because the kids get to navigate, they get to triangulate information and navigate their own life when the parents don't do it the same. And they learn to socialize when they understand things like, well, when I'm with dad, I got to do this. But when I'm with mom, I can do this. And when they work those things out for themselves, they learn to navigate socially in ways that they wouldn't get to do if they were coached to be kids relational to one parenting style.
Well, that's the hard. That's hard.
I love what
That's
you guys
hard.
have to say about growth and love and commitment.
Now,
Yeah.
did you ever think that a kiss in high school would lead to this deep relationship that you have?
No, I didn't. I know, of course, I never did. But you know,
It's not until times like this that I even understand that it's a deep relationship. Love becomes such a part of the way that you do your life that it's not like you don't go like have this, I'm loving right now. It's not really this conscientious thing you're doing. It's just kind of what the principles of your marriage vows, or if people still do that, or whatever, they guide you along till you end up here. You don't start here. You got to endure a while to get to this place. This is a good time to tell this story because there's all the things that, like Dorothy was saying, 30 years of getting to there.
right.
And that 30 years is filled with gems and other things.
And other things.
You two crazy kids that made out at a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good.
And I wasn't thinking that it was going to lead to this.
No,
I was hoping it was going to lead somewhere else.
a psychic couldn't have told you that.
This is an incredible story. This has become more personal to me.
Yeah.
In listening to both of you, and it gives me pause to reflect and look at some of the things that I'm doing in my life, and I appreciate you bringing things out that, as a man, you try to, when you're raising a family, you always try to do your best, and sometimes you make decisions that backfire on you and things like that, but you always want to feel you're doing your best. And sometimes in doing that, you forget who you are. And this is what you're telling me, is don't forget who you are. And
nobody, especially men, I can't speak, I'm not going to speak for women,
Thank you.
but
Vicky will.
no man leaves the house in the morning going, today I'm going to strive for second place.
right.
He does not do that. And I think that one of the things that I've always been encouraged by Vicki, because she has maintained that understanding and human expectations of, even though I'm not trying to go for second place, this is the best I can do. And when I fall short, it's an opportunity to love each other, not an opportunity to have a discussion and complain. It's like, because she understands that I don't feel good about failing. I don't feel good about making mistakes. It's like, and I don't go out trying to make mistakes. I don't go out attempting to fail. And that's just a part of what life and growing up is. It's not like life and growing up is one success after another till I become my authentic self. It's another one of those things I like to make fun of.
Right.
Which authentic self is defining the next authentic self?
Yeah.
I am just, I'm lost at words right now. You guys, you don't know
Thank you.
what you've said today is just, it's so heartfelt. It's
so real.
It pierced my heart.
Oh.
Because of the reality of what you have both said today. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on and express this. And I don't know what else to say, but just.
Well, there's a man-to-men weekend this weekend. You can come, Carlos.
Oh, okay.
You can register on the website because I know you got the number now.
Oh, okay.
You go ahead, because I'm writing a book with Vicky, so you go ahead and do that.
I got a full weekend too, right?
Once again.
Yeah, well, thank you for doing this, because I think it really helps, for people to have fresh ideas. There's so many cookie cutter ideas about relationships that everybody, but having been married 31 years or, however long you've been married, that, there's other ways of coping and there's other strategies.
Well, and shows like this are affirming to what we can do, and we can remember like by having a conversation like this, we can remember all of the things we're capable of to love each other. And it's because there's shows like this out there that can occur. Otherwise, we'll be busy. We'll get busy. We'll do our busy lives things, and we won't know that we know all the great things that we know.
Right. Thank you.
There'll be no reminder.
It's like I said, this has been awesome. And I hope that we can get together again, hopefully face to face, and have a great conversation. So
there we go.
That's what this show is about. Happily Ever Afters. You have presented a new way to look at happily ever afters. And hopefully everybody, when they watch this show, they will be able to reaffirm themselves. I don't know if that's the right word, but this is amazing. It's just amazing. And I want to thank you. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right.
It's a true pleasure speaking to both of you.
We hadn't seen each other for a couple days, so this is the first we're seeing of each other.
It's like, oh yeah,
go ahead and make out. We won't look.
All right.
It's like, I remember now. I love you.
Okay. Thank you again. And
all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Happily Ever Afters, the show about love, about relationships, friendships, animals even.
Oh, yeah. We had Margaret Cho and her puppy.
Yes. So I hope everyone learned like I did today from this show. Thank you for listening and watching Happily Ever Afters. You can join us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, UNBGO, and hopefully we'll be able to spread to some other networks along the way. But thank you very much for listening and watching on Happily Ever Afters.